I just want to introduce you to a few of the possibilities of what you can do with iPads. So I did just give you a list, and we're going to kind of start at the top, and I just want to walk you through the variety of ideas you might consider trying. So these are, I guess we're on two different screens. My iPad will be on that screen, and then the laptop will be on this screen. So we're going to take a look at how you can use iPads as clickers. Are you familiar with a clicker device, like a voting kind of thing? Some people have like trays of those, and we had one presentation today that was phenomenal, and just teaching people on how to use a clicker system, how to use the document camera. Some schools have just different materials that they're really not using yet. So we'll look at that. We'll look at how you can actually use your iPad as a document camera, as well as a video camera, voice recorder, calculator. It's your library. When you need a book at the end of the day or you finish your lesson early, you can have books loaded on there that you'll be able to read. A student project documenter, especially if you teach younger grades, a way to actually take a photo or take an actual document. Put your own comments on it, date it. You can even talk, put a little feedback if you wanted to give some feedback to a student and save that. That way you can take those great art projects and actually let them go home. It can be a classroom band. It's an interactive whiteboard. You can walk around and use it as a Mobi board. It's a digital camera. It can be a document scanner. Sometimes you don't have access to that, but you need to take something and turn it into a PDF. It can do that in one step and email it or save it somewhere. A writing assistant, and if you leave with nothing else today than the term dragon dictation, you will have earned $200 because I love that program. It's $200 on the laptop, and it's a free app. And it's a speech-to-text device. So it's something that and I see some of you nodding your head. Raise your hand if you've used Dragon Dictation. Okay, if not, you need to download it while it's still free, because you know what I find is some of those things that were free yesterday, when I go in today, they now charge something for the app. Usually not as much, but something. So I'll show you that. But what's phenomenal about the Dragon Dictation is that I work at the Reading Center, so I work with struggling readers, K-12, who are at least 1 to 3 grade levels below their level. And so what we can do is to take that child who says, I can't write, but they have great stories. They have wonderful vocabulary. And so we can actually turn on the Dragon Dictation, let them tell their story, and it comes up as a text, and then they can start writing from there. Thanks, I'll keep that for the end. You're awesome, Suzanne, thank you. Okay, and then we'll also look at how we can use it as a notepad or a sketch pad. So hopefully some of you are taking notes on there right now. A textbook, you've got the internet at your fingertips, and you can even make books in a really quite simple fashion. I am going to actually save the Doceri app for the end, just because I need to actually hook up the laptop, so I'm going to kind of go through the others and then go back. What Doceri does, and again, you've got this on your handout, but what it does is it allows you to walk around the classroom with your iPad and control your laptop. So it becomes your interactive smart board, your Mobi board. Do you know what that term Mobi board is, that mobile whiteboard that you can walk around? Jocelyn, I know you use those in your classroom. You can walk around and have students answer questions right there, and it shows up on the board. And so hopefully I'll show you that at the end, but I'm going to save it. And what you need to do with that is you need to download it on a computer, and that's this doceri.com. And again, just follow along on here. That's doceri.com. That's what you put on the laptop, and then the app will go onto your iPad, and that's just a free app. And so it will actually, it just says Doceri Remote, and you can just download it. So I'm going to come back to that at the end. Next, I want to show you if you're going to use it as a clicker. How many of you have used clickers or individual voting devices? Why are they effective? Anyone who uses them? Say it.
Immediate feedback.
Immediate feedback from everybody, right? Everyone holds one. You ask the question, instead of doing the thumbs up, thumbs down, or sometimes you can be a little bit embarrassed if you went the wrong way, or you kind of don't like to raise your hand and ask, here you instantly know. So what I'd like you to do is, we're going to try this out. If you have got a laptop, this is another one where there's both a teacher and a student site. And then we're going to get into just plain apps where you don't have to have both going. But with this one, I'm going to be the teacher today, just because I prepared a little quiz for you. So I'm going to be the teacher. And so if you are on a laptop, or if you are in the internet, you can do msocrative, that's the name of our program that we're going to use, .com, as a student. Or if you're looking at downloading a free app, it's this one. It looks like a little leafy tree, and it's called Socrative Student Clicker. So you can do either one, and they're both on that handout sheet as well. You can either go into the internet if you're on a laptop. If you're on an iPad, you can just quickly download that free app for students. What I'd like you to do is when you're finished, you can just kind of give me the old 20th century thumbs up, if you're able to locate one or the other. And I'm going to just bring up the Socrative teacher on mine. What's kind of nice about this, hopefully, is you'll be able to see what's on the teacher site, and then you can eventually just download that one as well. And then on this side could be the student site. Do we need to? Did you find the student side? Because I think that would be okay. All you're going to need to do is to put in, it says a room number. Do you see that? Okay, the room number is 29561. And you can see that room number, it's at the very top right. So 29561. Give me a thumbs up if it says you've entered and you're ready for the teacher to do something. And again, if you're not doing it now, it's okay. You can do that later. That's why you get that information. All right, these are the options for the teacher. So if I have everyone just logged in, then during whatever we're talking about, and I want to get feedback from everyone, I can just verbally ask a question. For example, if I chose to give, how about a multiple choice question? And I just said, okay, I would like to get a little bit of feedback from you. How long have you been using an iPad? A, this is my first time. B, 1 to 6 months. C, 7 to 12 months. Or D, more than a year. If you would just log in one of those, and then if you can hit, it just says answer. Yeah, A, this is my first time using an iPad. Yay. B, 1 to 6 months. C, 7 to 12 months. Or D, more than a year. And there, you don't have to be real specific on this, but you can just see that instantly we can see that the majority of people, they've been using it 1 to 6 months. It's a pretty new device, isn't it? And you can see we have people who are touching it for the first time today, as well as some people who've had it for more than a year and they've only been out for, what, a year and a half? So some people are old pros. Now I can just end that activity and go back, and let's just try a quick true-false question. If I just wanted to get a little bit of feedback again. I enjoy using technology in my teaching. True or false? Oh, look at this. Wow, this is a tech-excited group. That's fantastic. And there is that honest person right there. I want to meet that person. So anyway, that's a real quick type of feedback that we can get. And the other type that you can ask is short answer. And this is what I love. Because you know how you used to ask the class for their ideas and try to write it on the board and you could never get everything down? Here, you can type it in yourself. So I'm going to try one quick short answer question with you. And my short answer question is, what is one project your students created or completed using technology this semester that you felt good about? One project or an activity or an assignment that your students completed this semester where they used some sort of technology and you felt good about it as a teacher. And it can be very short, you know, whatever that is. If it was a project they did, or they created a PowerPoint, or they did some research online. Oh, look, here comes all these exciting things that you're doing. Wow, we have people using Glogster. They're doing e-portfolios at Google. They're doing kid blogs, state PowerPoints. Wow. You're doing a lot of really awesome stuff. Partner reading, Civil War research, a PowerPoint book review. These are great ideas. And so if we were studying, and I want you to always be thinking as we're going through these apps, how could I use this in my own teaching? So whatever you're doing, all of a sudden, and this would of course work, and you can throw out some ideas too. This of course would work if I wanted to know what questions do you have about what we're doing today? And again, am I going to raise my hand and ask that? Probably not. But if they come in all anonymously, and they can ask whatever question that they're interested in, and then I can go through and kind of see what the similar types of questions are, and I can go from there. Amanda?
Does it save all this data on your side?
It does. And we can actually even go through, we can vote on those. If I can say, okay, it seems like a couple of things are Prezi and Blogster. Which one do you think is most effective? We can vote. And I'll show you in just a moment. Okay? And that activity. Now I'm going to show you one other. You can also prepare in advance something that you'd like them to do. So you can either, I'm going to just do this one, which says start a quiz. And I'm going to let you do one about the iPad. And again, I have the choice to have it be student-paced, go at your own rate, or I as the teacher can say, we're going to do question 1, now we'll do 2, and I'll reveal it. But I'm going to just let you go at your own pace. It's 3 questions plus type in your name is the first one. So it shouldn't take too long. And if you would do that, I'm going to go ahead and have live results. So if you don't want your real name to come up, you can call yourself Pluto or whomever. They're going to ask you to put in last name, comma, first name. You may do it however you like. And then just 3 quick questions about your iPad use. And then I'll be able to kind of monitor. I don't have to say, are you done? I'll know how many questions you've finished. So if you want to just take one moment to do that. And you'll notice we can either show those live results or I can hide them. If I don't want anyone to see and you're answering those quiz questions, no one has to know what you're getting. This is a very low stakes event, so I'm going to just let you see so you can tell how that actually works. And I'm seeing a number of people finish 2 questions and they're on the last one. When they're finished, I'll show you how I can take those results, as you asked Amanda. And it'll comprise a table for me, and I can either email them or download them. So it's instantly graded and finished. On this, I could have also checked correct answer, in which case that 3rd column would tell how many you got right. So it would instantly grade it. If it was multiple choice and I said B is the right answer, it would show you how many you were getting right as well. Okay, we're going to say that gives you a good idea. So I'm going to just go ahead and end that activity. Thank you very much for doing that. And now I have the choice, if I choose to email that report, it comes up, it's been already sent out to my email address. So when I open that up, it comes out in a table form. It looks a little like an Excel spreadsheet, and it will list everybody's responses to question 1, 2, and 3. And then if I've told it the correct answer, it'll give me that 4th. So I can use that as a polling as well. And you'll notice the other way you can do that is as an exit ticket. How many of you at the end of the day or at the end of a class say, I want to tell you, we use the term process and product question. Tell me one thing that you learned today and one way you're going to use that when you leave the classroom. So if you ask them, you can put those in and then they can actually answer the 2 questions before they walk out, and you've got all their feedback, which is usually what they remember as well. And the last one I want to show you, no report please, is Space Race. And this one's kind of fun. Everyone gets to have a color, And I'm going to just say auto assign so we don't have to pick. And this one is actually, and I think this is kind of interesting, you might find the content interesting. I just put together some questions, and I'm hoping, did I get that up? A few questions about here, I'm going to change that. The Nebraska Multiple Literacy Standards. And so what you're going to hopefully get are, I think, 3 multiple choice questions. Look at those ones for just a moment and answer them if you would. And when you're a colored rocket, when you respond, the rocket will go forward or back, and it can be different teams and things like that. But these are the actual literacy standards, multiple literacy standards that we expect kindergartners to know how to do. And I want to know if you can pick out the things. It says pick out the one that is not a requirement at that grade level.
So you can tell the students, like I had a teacher that's used this before, but
Yes.
it doesn't say you're right.
Yes.
It just goes over then the questions
Yep.
that are on.
And this is because on these there were 3, I just did multiple choice, and I put in a correct answer. So this will send you the report with exactly how many you got right. But yeah, then it'll tell you if you're right or you're wrong. I kind of like that feature.
Yeah, I do too.
And you instantly get that feedback, I got it, I didn't, or this was the right answer, and that's helpful, because I already know they can't change the answer. So I think that's helpful. All right, did you get the questions right? They're hard, aren't they? That was kind of a hard one. Were you surprised at what we expect kindergartners to know? This is Nebraska. I know Faith. Faith is up here from Kansas City, so you might not have the same standards, but we do expect them to be able to collaborate using online technologies in the kindergarten. And what were some of the other ones that we expect as kindergartners? Computers. Do you remember?
Find and create online sources.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about that? I think the one area we didn't really get to yet was the social networking, but by 3rd grade we have that.
Yeah.
It's in place for the rest of the grades. We're not doing as much in kindergarten. So that's the standards that we're expected to be working with. Okay, you have a fairly good idea about what that works with. So that's just a free app that you can download, and if you have a set of iPads in your class, you would need the clickers in there. All right, we're going to end that little activity. The next one I want to show you is called _notify. And if you've got an iPad and you want to download it, it's free. There's only one on here that has a charge, and that was the ebook maker, and it's $3.99, and it is so worth $3.99 that I had to put it on. Otherwise, we only use free apps, you know, for the most part. But this one is called _notify, and it's listed as number 3 on your handout. Does anyone have a 2 or a 3? Okay, if you have that, it allows you to go to your camera, and I can snap a picture of anything, you know, these handouts or something. So if I take a picture of whatever it is, it's student work, and then I'm able to upload it into this program, and then next to it, I can put in the date, the name of the product, and if you've used the, you just can't see it. Well, it's there. If you use the little microphone key, have you used this yet on your iPad? I love this because if I tap on it, I can actually say verbally what I want typed out as far as the student response, what I want to say to that student. Oh, and what I was actually showing you were my flowers for our anniversary this last week. I thought I would share those with you. They were so beautiful. So what I can do is just tap on here and say, those are the most beautiful flowers I've ever seen. And what it does is that it will actually just type out those words next to the picture. And then it also allows me, oh there, I can work on this. I can bring in a document as an example. So if I do that, you'll notice down here down in the corner, I'm going to be able to go up. It's not showing all of this, but it will insert. It allows me to insert, and I can put in an audio link. So again, if I want to do that, I just record. This is an excellent student sample. And then I can just play it back. So I can talk about student work, and this is at all levels. So if you're teaching at upper level, even a college class, and you have students submit a piece of a lesson plan or something else that they're working on a paper, you can go ahead and give written feedback either by typing or by speaking it and having it type it out. And then you can also do an audio recording that goes with it. And then when I'm finished, I'm able to share it. And I can drop it into Dropbox, or I can go into Google Docs. I can email it to myself. But instantly, you know, when that child comes home with a great piece of work, I can document that and date it. So that's what it's going to do.
How did you get to the camera on that?
The regular camera on the iPad?
Yeah.
That was just on the iPad. It's on the 2 or 3. I'm sorry if I make you dizzy. It's this.
Yeah, I know how to do that.
Oh, yeah.
But then,
From the Notify?
yeah.
Oh, that actually is just where you go in and say, on this top arrow, it says insert. And then I would just go to an image from my photo album. Do you all know how to save a picture on the iPad?
No.
Is that not amazing? I mean, you literally touch it. It says save the image, you say save the image, and it shows up in your photos. And I mean, I know that's so simple, but now I can grab that. So anything that's in my photos, I can grab and bring into a program like this and give some great feedback on. Okay. All right. I'm going to just leave that for right now. Did you know that you can use this as a document camera? How many of you have a document camera in your classroom? Good, that's great. You know, sometimes people have to go and get it, and so then it's rather difficult. But if you had a student that just did something amazing and you didn't have the document camera, again, you just put it on the photo, and it will show what's ever there. So if the student has their picture or whatever, I've gone in where teachers actually have just a small, like a box even that they set this on, the outside part of the box. And then when you just set it up there on the camera, you don't even have to take the picture. It will just project onto the screen whatever you put under there. So it's like a document camera. Very simple things, but some things I never thought about. A textbook. How many of you have done textbooks online? Anybody? Do you use them at your school? Not so much yet. I know some schools do. I'll just show you an example of one. Course Smart is a location that you can download textbooks. And I think the exciting thing about using the electronic textbook is that it lets you really be collaborative in your reading. So if you come up with a question, you can actually highlight or write the question, and you can email it to other people in your class. So if you set up small groups, as they're reading, or they can ask you as the instructor. This is actually a page from the text. So these would be all of the e-textbooks. Over here, we'll bring up one single page. It will also bring up along the side the reference list, so all the chapters, so you can actually hit on whichever chapter that you want to go to, and it will take you there, or by page. But it would let you just go ahead and highlight, and then ask the question. You can put a note, so it's just like a note in the margin that you can do as well. So I think that's something that we've seen a lot more of. We talked about using it as a camera. Where would you use a camera in your teaching? Where might it be helpful if you had students actually pick up an iPad and snap a picture of something you might be teaching about?
To insert the project, if they're doing a project.
Great idea. What if I'm teaching a lesson on shapes? Math lesson on shapes.
Or we can go around and take pictures.
Yeah.
Awesome. So instead of us trying to explain what it is, they could find rectangles right here, couldn't they? So they could walk around with that iPad and just quickly click it, and then it can go directly into, if they wanted to do a PowerPoint of those multimedia. You read about some of those those requirements for multiple literacy. So it's a way that you can overlap the content you're teaching with teaching a new type of technology. And the exciting thing is that they learn both, and a wonderfully brilliant second grade teacher that I went and observed told her second graders every time, she said, what are we going to learn today? And these second graders would say, we're going to learn about our subject, we're going to learn new technology, and we're going to learn patience. And they would smile. And you know the spinning wheel? That is patience. So instead of getting frustrated, she'd say, what are we learning now? And they go, patience. Becky.
How easy would it be for them to send that picture to you so you could project it to the rest of the class?
It'd be simple because you would probably have that email kind of a thing set up so they could just quickly email it, or you could just have a location where everybody posts them. You know, if it was like at a Dropbox or a place where you could just go in and then bring them all up at once. But see, that is the thing. And there's also like a kid blog where they can instantly email it to the blog and it appears the whole class in one location. So then you could use their examples. Or they could come up and just simply plug them in. If you don't have the little dongle for the iPad and you do have a document camera, you can just lay your iPad under the document camera as well and it projects. So if they had a great picture on their iPad, they could just lay it on there and it could go up as well. So kind of a backwards way, but it works. Yeah.
This will tell you how much I do not know. What is this Dropbox?
Dropbox is just an online kind of a cloud storage space. And it's what we used to plan this conference because we had presenters from all over the country coming in. And so I can show you. It looks like, and I would encourage you to set one up because it allows you, no matter what device you're using, it allows you to access your documents from anywhere. So this is the icon, it's this box, blue box like that. And when I open it, this is one particular file. But these would be my files, things that I've been working on. So instead of just saving into the hard drive of my laptop where I have to carry my laptop, if I save it to Dropbox, then I can access it when I'm in my office computer, I can access it on my iPad, I can do it on my iPhone. It's just saved in the cloud, so it's always there for you. And the nice thing is it's a collaborative tool because if you noticed in your folder, we put a list of apps for you to take back. And this I actually started in a course that I taught last summer. And I just have it up at Google Docs. And so it would be very similar to like in a Dropbox. It's at a place and it was open. And so then in every course, I let teachers go in and add their favorite apps. And so then when we did the conference, I wanted you to know these are the apps that teachers say are their absolute favorites. So if you start and you happen to get a new iPad and you're looking for places to start, these are things that people are using and teaching and love. So it's collaborative in that if I put a document up here, you can go in and add ideas to it. You can read what I have if I've opened it to you, and only those people I share it with can see that.
So how do you do that? How do you?
It's Dropbox.com.
But how do you open it up for other people too?
It has a little share feature. Oh, Google Docs?
Is it like
It's like Google Docs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay.
But actually, you would just go online to Dropbox.com. I don't know if it'll recognize me or if I'll have to sign in. But otherwise, it comes up with a whole list of your files that you've saved, and then it has a share feature.
Okay.
And you would type in an email of the person you want to share it with.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So how far did we progress? Video camera. Have you used it as a video camera yet? Yeah. How would you use an iPad? How could you have students use an iPad? And if you know, you just click the switch here on the camera. It has either camera or video camera. And then we could just videotape you. Wave, hi. You look phenomenal. Wow. Hi. All right. And now we can just go ahead and You should be able to just play that. You can see how darn good you look from up here. Now, how amazing is that? What do you have students do at whatever level you teach that it might be awesome to capture instead of saying, oh, I wish we could have shown that to parents? Because now you know if I've captured it as a video, I can either just save it at my class website or I can email it to the parents in my class. I can instantly show them what we just did. Connie, what were you thinking?
I was thinking of the posture, correct posture when we do handwriting.
Oh!
So I'll take a picture
A
of
picture.
it.
Yep.
Then what I do with it is in my, it's in the computer. Or
Exactly.
the camera, but
Yes.
I share it.
Yes. Yeah, how do I share that? I'm thinking of class plays and things, right, where they do something and not every parent can ever come, but you could actually just capture that. And you know, there's one school that I went to where the teacher has, just like you have a person who waters the plants and feeds the class pet, they have an example of the student. Every week there's a different person who's the technology expert. So what happens is this teacher trains that child each week about all the things that they can do. So they're the person who holds the iPad, you know, they do the videotaping, they know how to then save it. And what happens is during the course of the year, she's taught every student in the class. They all leave 4th grade as a technology expert. And they can just troubleshoot for other people. So you never have to do all of that as a teacher. Everybody's helping everybody else. I love that new class, Jill. You had a good question.
Oh, no, I just said, like, I use it with our math curriculum. We do a lot of math talk, and the kids are the teachers. And so videotaping them doing it. So.
Oh, that's a great idea. Then you know what you're creating, what Dr. Bull was talking about? You know, where he said there's so many courses online where you can go on and they can teach. The other thing, you can either show the child, or you know when you look online, the video is always just of like the hands doing something. That's another way you can do it. I know there's an art teacher that videotapes all of her lessons with art. And she doesn't have her, but it's just her hands making these things. And sometimes she brings in students, so it really looks like the students doing it. And then if you happen to be absent, you can watch the whole lesson. It's all documented. So she's got her whole curriculum in a video file, and it's just done with an iPad, very simply. And the other thing that works great with that video camera is the student can set it down, and they sit in front of it and hold a piece of artwork or something that they self-assess. So they talk about, what did I do well? And she's got like 3 sentence starters. Today I did this well. What I could do to make it even better is this. And so they videotape themselves talking about their project and how they did well and what they would do to take it to the next level. That's powerful assessment. So yeah, so that's just phenomenal.
I was one that I did, my kids were partner reading, so that's
Yes.
not a technology thing, but I videotaped them. Then I had the dongle. I was so proud because I wanted to try it first time.
Yes.
But they loved watching themselves.
Yeah.
They gave them, I told them that they had to give a comment about when they saw someone that was encouraging
Yes.
their partner to read,
Oh, that's
and
a-
also how were they helping one another. And then I used that little video as part of my appraisal documents at the end of the year to say, this is my instruction in the classroom and how I had set up a risk-free environment because
Yes.
you could see it, right? I mean, you could see it. I
It's
didn't
right
really
there.
Write about it, tell about it.
Yep.
I could show it.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, that you can videotape that.
I know I haven't done this before, but even doing like presentations,
Yes.
kids don't see themselves.
Yeah.
Presentations wise, and so videotape them, do the presentation and say, hey, what's one thing you did well?
And you know, that's a great idea. One thing that we found, I broke my foot last fall, not that that should mind to you, but something phenomenal happened out of that. Because I do supervision at the Reading Center, and I thought, oh, I can't do it. But via Skype, I sat at home with my laptop and watched the child, and I was on my iPad writing comments just on that yellow notepad, which then at the end of the session, I just hit email. It went directly to the student teacher, who had instant feedback. And on the videotaping, when they had an open computer sitting in front of that child reading, we noticed a lot of reading problems. We could notice eye movements that when they're sitting looking down at a book, we never saw. But all of a sudden, or we could see that there might be certain movements that we were not aware of, or things that they were doing, and we were able to do some diagnosis with that. So sometimes by videotaping and looking at it, it's not just the instant it's happening, but you can see it, you know, kind of, you can rewind it and see that over. Those are excellent ideas. As far as a tape recorder, with the tape recorder, if you use Quick Voice, it's as quick and simple as you hit record. This is a sample of Quick Voice. Stop. Play. You can't hear it right now because it's not, well, maybe I can make you hear it. There it is. Let's try that one more time. Anyway, it's that quick and easy. Do you do fluency recordings? Okay, and then I can just quickly type in, instead of my recording, I can just type in a name. So the name of the child, and it already has the date on them.
Laurie.
Yeah.
I actually taught my second graders how to type payments, and they sat in the back of the room and did their own.
That's excellent.
And then I could listen to it at night when I had free time.
Thank you, Jocelyn. What a great idea. All these things, I think we have to do that. These kids can do that. You just teach them once, they know how to type in their name, they have the date, and then you can review that. They can listen to themselves, progress and get better and better with fluency, and then you can listen when you have time to really evaluate. Thank you for that great idea, Jocelyn. Okay, I skipped the document scanner, but I don't want to do that. It's called DocScan, and it looks like this. And it's a free app as well. But if you ever need to scan something because you need to send a letter someplace, or this DocScan will actually allow you to, you just snap a picture, then you can save it as a PDF, or if it's a picture, you can save it as a JPEG. And that would mean you can put it into any kind of document. All you do is, it again turns into the camera, so you have to have the 2 or the 3. And I just snap a picture. I didn't do it perfectly, but I say I'm going to use that. That's just good enough for me. This lets you do some adjustments if I want to bring it in, make it bigger, but I'll just say next. It's done, and again, I can write on it, or I can make it smaller, I can rotate it, but I'll just say save it, and I can save it as a new document, and it's up there. So now I've got it in my documents that it's ready to go and be used any way I want to, but it's actually a PDF already. So do you have a scanner? Like, do you have to scan sometimes at your school? Yeah, certain things. What I like about scanning is that's a great way to take, again, a piece of student artwork and turn it into an e-book. You know what I'm saying? If they made it and you want to get it into an electronic format, this can turn it into either just a PDF or a JPEG if you want to save it as a document or a picture. And then you can actually just upload. Yeah?
That DocScan HD is what we were
Yep.
looking at. And you have also that DocScanner up there.
Yeah, DocScanner is a $4.99. It's got much clearer resolution. If you find you use it a lot, it's worth it. But if not, DocScan is free. Play around with that one first. Okay, so that's just another way that you can do some scanning. Let's see. Is there anything else on there that you would like to talk about? Because otherwise I do want to give you a little bit of time to do some downloading maybe of things that are of interest to you. Of those left, is there anything you're interested in? I just want to talk 1 minute about the internet. I think the internet at your fingertips is the absolute best thing about an iPad. And that means that one example I'll give you is whenever we have students start to read, we always talk about prior knowledge, right? Background knowledge, what do you know about this? I was working with a 5th grader. We had a story about the Civil War and asked that really good question. What do you know about the Civil War? Kind of part of the KWL strategy. And the child says, nothing, never heard of it. And so we thought, wow, if we start reading right there, comprehension's about 0. So quickly grabbed the iPad, went to the History Channel, and it took, all of about 3 seconds, found a 2-minute video clip, and showed them a little bit about the Civil War. It had the names Grant and Lee. They could see the uniforms, and he was like, "Oh, that!" And now he had a little bit of background. He starts reading. Comprehension was really, really high. So by taking those 2 minutes of building the background knowledge, and it's right there. If I had to go and find the encyclopedia or check out a book, or when the student asks you a question, you go, "Well, I'll have to look into that." And you might remember and you might not. Here you just say, "Well, let's look it up." And everybody does. And they quickly can take a look and see what the answer to that question is. So I think the internet at your fingertips is amazing. And if you get to the point at your schools where you're able to have enough for everybody in the class, we now have 20 at the Reading Center. And so we're able to have everybody working on one at the same time, and it's phenomenal. Does anyone have laptops for everyone at this point? Or required laptops at your school? You do? In your classroom? Okay. How many of you have any laptops in your classroom? Okay. To check out. Check out a cart and you can bring it in. The difference there, that's a phenomenal step. The difference is it's not at your fingertips. It has to be planned that the question comes up on the day you've checked out the cart, right? And that's what we've heard from teachers. It didn't matter what it was. If it was there, we used it. If we had to check it out, it wasn't as spontaneous. It's still a great thing, but this isn't ideal when they are just using it. Anybody using iPhones? Yes? How do you use them? iTouches?
Well, there's a lot of the same apps you put on iPads on iTouch.
Exactly. iPhones, iPod Touch, they all download the same apps. And so some schools I know we went to had iPods, full carts of iPods, and they did fluency readings. They did the same quick read.
iPod or iTouch?
Aren't iTouches iPod Touches? iTouch. Are they? Is that what they are? Okay, I think so. But they have a screen just like that app you can download. Okay, is there anything else on there that you wanted to see? Otherwise, yes.
The FaceTime for students in this law school,
Yes.
is that something that?
What was?
We gave a student, a special ed student that had this law,
Yeah.
and they check, is there a time limit? I'm not quite sure how.
I'm not positive about that. To be honest with you, I've not used FaceTime. How many of you have used FaceTime? Okay, what can you tell us?
It's unlimited time.
It's unlimited time.
But you have to be on there at the same time as students on there.
Right.
They have to know to be on.
Okay, so I'm up here, whoops, and I just have to touch the person that I want to connect with, like anyone from my contact list, and we can have FaceTime. So that makes me think of almost like the office hours, It's like, I'm here, and if they touch, we can kind of talk.
So is it like Skype?
It would be. It would be just, yeah.
But it's just FaceTime with people that have an iPod or iPad.
Okay.
So instead of like talking on the phone with them, you can just kind of look at each other and talk. And wouldn't that be great for that child who is sick and missed a day of school? You could just have, two minutes of FaceTime to talk a little bit about things that you did or what you want them to do. Thanks for mentioning that. We're learning every day, and that's why I love to listen to what other people are doing as well. Please.
I was just going in our building, we were just saying, since she's up on the second floor, instead of emailing each other or
Yeah.
calling on the phone,
You could have
to talk to each other face to face.
You could just look at each other and talk. It is an amazing thing.
Really, every teacher in our building got an iPad, so we could all be.
Wow. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah, the faculty meetings could be like virtual, right? Yeah. I like that. I would like to, if you don't care, I would show you just one other thing, and that was the ebook that I told you about.
Yeah.
Because I just love it. It's called Ebook Magic. So whoops. Loose just a little bit. That didn't sound good. Oh, that was okay. It's this one right over here on the left. It looks like magic coming out of the book. So it says Ebook Magic. And this is the one that I told you is $3.99, and I'd encourage you all to get it if you can. What it does is it allows you again to go onto the internet and touch your picture. So wherever we were, free, whoops. Free pictures of sharks. Shark photos. We'll just bring up a thing like if we were going to make a book of sharks. And I don't want that. That. Okay. So if I wanted to take this one, again, what I was going to show you is I just touch the picture and I just say save the image, and that's that. And so if I look at my photos, there it is. So now I can just go down here and I can drop that into an ebook if I want. So it's that easy for kids to go and do some research on a topic of interest. And we know that students read best when they do things of interest to them on a topic they're interested in and at their own reading level. And when they create their own ebook, they do it on a topic of interest at their own reading level using their own vocabulary. So here was my little book of animals. And it can be, but I could just go back and start a new one and drop in the shark and type my text in. It gives you all kinds of page settings that you can look at as well. And then I can also open that in iBooks. So now the child has written a book, and it actually can go on the bookshelf, and it can also be emailed to the parents. So as quickly as that, now I can turn it as an ebook. And yeah, some of the pictures are not that great, but if they took their own, they would be wonderful. So now they've actually created an ebook, and you just hit one button to publish. And it says just publish it into iBooks. Or I can send that link to the parents, and they can see instantly their research and what they've written. So I think that's one that you'd be interested in as well. Yeah.
Is there ever any conversion problem?
Nope. But isn't that amazing? I took one whole course here at the university on how to publish an ebook, and it was really complex. And here it was just like touch, drop, type, and it was published. It was a fairly amazing process. Any questions that you have or ideas that you'd like to share? Yes?
You didn't just talk about Doceri.
You didn't. You know, our time is kind of up. What Doceri does, and is my laptop here, Susan? Thank you. What we'll do, and we'll just try to do it really quickly, is I should be able to disconnect my iPad. Yeah. Thanks. And when I click on Doceri, so I have both the app and the program going, you see that, you don't see it. Up here, it's connected to that computer. So when you first set it up on your laptop, and once that's set, then you just download the app. And when you click on that, it connects, and there's a little connectivity that goes. And then we're able to run that from here. So I'm walking around, and that's why I put in a blank screen, because I can draw here and have it show up there. I can just run that. If it's a PowerPoint, I can run it from here. If I had a problem, I could walk around and let Sandra here answer it, and it would go up on the screen. So it becomes my mobile whiteboard.
Thanks a lot.
I think we're going to have people coming in. We do have, yeah, guys, says we have to stop. If you're interested, I'll stay right after.